Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I think I'm live now. Hi, guys. Make sure. Hello, hi, guys. If you can hear me, please just leave some comments because I think it's awkward. I'm still not used to the Zoom lifestyle of seeing yourself. I don't know how these YouTubers do it. Oh, hi, Esther. Okay, finally, at least I can see someone. So just a quick one. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to I Rise. Hi, Pastor Mercy. Welcome to I Rise. And so basically today we're just going to be speaking or asking Eniola questions about her story. Please, this is your final chance to ask so many questions. Please flood the comments with so many questions about your faith, what it's like about uni life. If there are questions you wanted to ask her, even about her experience when she was in uni, please feel free to pop it in the comments and let's know how I can pass her questions to her as well and ask her questions and see how she responds to them. And basically, we just learn the truth from her. We see things from her own scope and not just from ourselves. So I think Eniola will be joining soon. Probably just give it like a few minutes and Eniola will be joining. Oh, she's here.
Hi.
Hi, Eniola.
Hi.
I'll literally just popping you. So just before we start, because I feel like I'm not used to this Zoom life like that. So I'm going to mention some things and I just want you to say the first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
Color green.
Green, nature.
Okay, that one's easy for you. Water.
Ooh, water, freedom.
Freedom. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to explain that one later. One more. God.
Ooh, mate. A million things. A million and one things, not just one thing. At the moment, I'll say that I am experiencing God to be my helper.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at with him and just learning to rely on him as a helper, which is something that I've not been able to possibly do in the past few years. So I'm still learning. So yeah.
Okay. I think to be honest, it's hard to put God in one thing because he's God. And to be honest, I think I can relate with the helper one as well. But we're gonna hear more about that later. Now back to the water freedom. Well, yeah, explain yourself, please.
You know what? Like water is in like three different like states. So solid, liquid, and gaseous form. Like, and when you see water, it just flows.
Okay.
It just has the freedom to flow. And when it's in the air, you can't catch it, can you? There's that
No, you
freedom.
can't because it's
And
vapor.
when it's solid, well, it's solid. It stays where it is. There's no freedom, but like the nature of water, like the solid form can actually melt into, water. So like I like the freedom to be able to just, I don't know if it's freedom or flexibility or both.
It could be, and it could be both. I think there's like water can grow in different forms. Like so, who's when you put water in a bottle, it's different. When you put water in a container, it's different.
When you put water in a bottle and you tip it over, does it still not move?
Yeah, it does. So
Exactly.
it takes the form of. It's just a free. Basically, freedom is the perfect thing because it's free.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm moving my hands, but it's
Why do
free.
you do? Okay.
Okay, so you know what's funny? I'm not going to ignore the people in the comments. I got high. You got the very beautiful and I can't even good looking, pretty as usual. Someone even
Thank
said
you.
scientist. Some people are giving you a lot of props in this.
Thank you. Hi, Pastor
You guys,
Mercy. And
it took
thank
me
you,
time. It took
Estelle.
me time to come here too. I need some comments. Need to tell me, don't tell me I look good because that's not good enough. My God is greater.
Don't be picky, okay? Don't be relax.
Good is
Don't,
average. Good is average.
wow.
So You know what? Today we're basically here to know about your story in
Hmm.
uni, but also like even it might diverse to see how your story is now as well and how things are going. Um, Quick one. How are you feeling?
Well,
That question is always a at the moment,
yeah.
before you came this live, while you're on this live.
Okay, so before I came on this live, I had an amazing session with one of the amazing people that have helped my life this year, like in terms of like direction and navigating and helping as somewhat like a mentor, but he still doesn't know it yet. I call him Father Abraham. He's like Father Abraham. His name is Duro Oye. So I literally just had like a meeting with a bunch of us. The meeting was called the Catalyst for Change, and he was basically speaking about. Let me just look at my notebook. It was speaking about patience, patience being the indispensable virtue. And honestly, I felt like in that space of us gathering and speaking together, not just him, but everybody, it so like helped to answer some of my questions. So I
Okay.
don't. Can you guys hear that the helicopter? Isn't my no?
If you hear it for a bit, but it's fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like he was literally talking about patience and just literally giving some Bible scriptures and stuff. And you know what? It lifted my mood. I'm quite happy to be live. And at this moment, I'm actually happy. Like in comparison to last week was a bit shaky. But if you're asking me about a few hours ago and right now, I feel great.
Okay, so you guys, that's the number one. We're already learning some tips. Yeah, getting mental, getting mental.
Oh,
There's
wait.
someone. Uh-huh.
No. Just keep speaking.
Okay, so get a mentor. It would definitely help. I think I learned that myself. Mentors are also accountability partners as well. People you can take off because I feel like we have masks in society, and sometimes you have that mentor where you can just pull everything off and say the truth. Um,
Yeah.
so today's topic, literally, let me just jump in. Let me shoot straight in because I feel like I've given you enough questions. I don't want you to ask me questions all the whole day long. So I think today's topic is literally how faith helped me during uni.
Mm.
Hmm. That
Don't act like we go to uni together, okay?
Sorry, in this case, I'm the other side. You're on the hot seat right now, so you're going to be answering the questions. First thing I'll ask you, do you feel like I'll say after you've been through uni now and you've come out, do you go into uni as a Christian or do you have like a new version of Christianity? Give us some juice. Give us some
Wait, so
juice.
what's the question? You're
My
asking me.
question is, did you go into uni as a Christian?
Oh, I did. Yes, I did. I went into uni as a Christian, so that's sort of
Okay.
like me quite grounded when I went to uni.
Okay.
People don't know this, but I actually took a gap year before going into university, and that
Mm.
1 year was very pivotal in my life. It shifted my mindset. I didn't go to uni thinking I needed to go and mess myself up. I actually went to uni thinking, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm going to be an element of change, and I'm just going to learn more about myself. So yeah, I was a Christian going into uni. Yeah.
Do you feel like the year out helped you blossom in faith, or do you feel like uni was actually a place where you blossomed a lot in faith?
So those are two completely different things. But yes, like the year out really helped to ground me in faith. Like that was like a foundational, pivotal moment in my life where I actually got to know God. So where
Hmm.
all my friends had gone to university, my twin was still in college, everyone else was still in college. I was at home. I was at home redoing some of my A levels, and I also got a job. And I was a very, very active in church, and in my youth group. And my youth group was actually like a fantastic foundation where I actually learned more about God. I was so grounded in the faith. So things that I had things that I had, got excited about uni for practically just died down. I got to know myself for me because there was nobody there. So
Okay.
yeah, like that was fantastic. And then did you say something about going back into uni, or what did you say about going back?
No, so the second part is because you've taken the year out, and I think most people don't take it out, and
Yeah,
now going into uni because I think uni is like for some people it goes up in faith, it goes down in faith, it shakes
yeah.
the faith, it turns everything all over. Some people shoot up like shooting stars. So how is it like for you?
What would you say, first year or just throughout my uni journey?
I'll say let's say all together because that's what
Okay.
makes yeah.
Yeah.
You could
So
break it down though if you feel like it was like you
yeah,
could
like
break it down, yeah, into breaking out into 3 years.
yeah, like, do you know what's funny? Like, when I got this whole question about what I was going to be speaking on, I found it very fantastic that I had to do with the issue of faith, because I think that's
Okay.
something that is going to be a recurring theme in my life, if not the centerpiece of the theme in my life.
Hmm.
Because yeah, uni did test my faith, and uni did help to build my faith in terms of challenges. So first year, even before going to uni, can I just even say this? Before going to uni, I didn't get my accommodation. Yes, I did lastminute.com, procrastination. Of course, I did it. And that was because I wasn't sure I was going to get the grades. So I was like, okay, when I get my grades, I'm going to go to uni. Like, I didn't know how the school system worked. I didn't know anything. So I waited last minute. Last minute came, everywhere was booked, was looking around, panicking, thinking, I need to get my place, but I need to get my place. By the way, I went to the Montfort University just in case. And all of a sudden, if pew, 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 all of a sudden, an accommodation literally just opened up from God knows where, like nowhere. And like, I was so happy and excited about it. And to be fair, in that time, I was actually praying, and I was literally believing and having faith in God that I'd find a place. So even stepping into uni was an act of faith. Do you get what I mean? Even the
Okay, yeah.
that I did, and also the grace I got before going into uni, was also a step of faith as well. So yeah, first year was a tough one, and then second year was another one as well. Yeah, second year and third year were actually moments where I really, really had that work of faith, because I studied nursing, and nursing is not a degree for the faint-hearted. Do you get what I mean? Like, if you're thinking you're just coming to just, no, it's not for the faint-hearted. I had to sacrifice a lot of my life in university, whereas where everybody had that capacity and that space to be able to have fun, play around, just be very carefree. I had a very, what word can I use? The word is not even disciplined. I had a very strict timetable as to how life was going to be for me in university. So in that space, like, I had to trust God, because knowing the kind of person that I am, I'm actually an artistic person, and
Okay.
I'm an artistic person, and I like to have fun, and I don't like to be constricted
Constrained.
or constrained. You get
That's
what I
why
mean?
you like water and freedom. No, but it's lovely though. I think where you have to be free as an artistic person. You're creative by nature. Is who you are.
Yeah. So definitely, like, the 3 years of uni was definitely like a step of faith on the way. Even every time I had to go into the next step of my not degree, but the next year of my course, it was an act of faith. There was always that one essay or one exam or one something that was always trying it, like, always, always trying it. And I know you guys know it. I know you have a course that's always doing your head in, or that,
Yeah, definitely.
or something. And do you know what? Mine was worse, because mine was dependent on placement as well. So I had my
Okay.
practicals and I had my theoretical side. So I wasn't just studying; I was also working as well. In a practice, in the practice. That's how we do nursing, and it was tough. Like,
So you were practically almost living adult life before in
basically,
uni.
exactly. So when everybody was doing that wasn't me, my dad. That wasn't me. And that I needed to trust God, that, you know what, I needed to trust God in that moment, that, you know what, he will get me through. Even if things didn't look the way it was meant to, even if I didn't expect half of the things that happened in uni, like, I just had to, like, have that faith that he will help me through university, and I won't be distracted, and I'll, achieve what I came for. So yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. You know what? Just to involve the audience, because I like to involve my audience as what's going on. So you guys, I just want you to put we're gonna continue, but I want you guys to put the smiley emoji face. Like, I think I have that now that I've eaten so much during this lockdown. I have the circular. I'm going to hit the gym soon, but until then, I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. You're meant to be smiling for the audience as well. Like, you have to show,
I'm not
yeah,
involved.
you have to be involved. Whatever I do, you do. We flow water.
Somebody like,
Okay, okay. You know what? when he starts saying it's smiling, oh, they're smiling, literally they're smiling. So I don't know why about me. There's literally past message dropped one, someone dropped five. I don't know if they're supporting you or they're supporting me, but you know what? They love me. My face is really smiling. But back to you again. So I'll say, let me not ask you. Not saying obviously it was a bit hard. I think you were living the adult life in uni, but thank God you don't look like what you went through. So now this is the hardest. I think this is one of the most difficult one. What was your biggest challenge
Oh my
or
day.
your fate trail? And like how do you overcome it? Because even I need to learn from this. Because I think with faith doesn't end in uni. It's a life journey.
Do you know what? Yeah, I even stacked up a lot of testimonies that I had from university as to how my faith got tested. So I wouldn't necessarily like compile, my faith journey into one. I'll say my biggest challenge was actually finishing. So that is the grand finale of things. Finishing university and finishing well was a big deal to me, and that was the biggest test. Like I knew that from second year of university, I was tired. I was tired of the course. I was like, no, I don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. I can do YouTube and get money. I can do this. I can wear clothes. I can do that. Actually, the biggest test as well was the fact that in university, I started discovering my gifts and my talents.
Okay.
And it was difficult to, stay disciplined and do what I'd come to university to do. Because imagine just like unraveling a different side to yourself that's quite exciting, and then you feel restricted because of university and stuff like that. That really did test my faith.
So
So
almost like just to get like a clear view, almost like you were discovering that part of you that brought life to you, and it's almost like the other one was just sucking, taking life out of you.
I felt like that, but do you know what? I will answer your
Yeah.
question and come back to that aspect of things. Yeah. So I'm gonna share like a couple of testimonies of faith and how God actually
Yeah,
genuinely.
please, definitely. We all need it.
So I would say in my what year was this? In my second was it second or third year? Because mate, I was a mess. In my second year of university, I remember that there was one assignment I had to do, and I was struggling. Like I'm not this essay writing type of individual. If I'm being honest, like I half of the essays I submitted, I actually didn't know what I was doing. So let's not go there. I was just typing, typing, typing. I didn't know what the edge to detail. Like when I tell you that being in uni and coming out of university, it was God that brought me through. It was genuinely him, because I've heard of people who went to uni even and they didn't even finish. Like not to
Yeah.
say that or belittle them. I just recognize the grace upon my life, and I'm very happy that God helped me. And just to testify, so I remember this assignment that I was given. Honestly, I didn't understand. I was just confused. Like I was just going around in circles. I was just going around in circles, and I remember that it was also in the same time when I had to go for placement. So placement is practically 3 days in the hospital, a whole 12 hours per day. And you can imagine, because every day after placement, you're playing catch up because you're on your feet all day. Like you're basically learning on the job, you're taking the bus, coming back, yeah, just the whole shebang. So I remember I had that assignment to do, and I remember I asked for a deferral. And a
Okay.
deferral is practically when you defer your assignment for like a few days, not a few days, like a few weeks, maybe a week or two or three. I can't remember how
Okay.
many. So I asked for a deferral. So when I asked for the deferral, I still didn't get the work done. And then I went further and I asked for an extension. An extension is like maybe three months or 2 months of not doing the work and submitting it later. What did your girl do? Didn't do the work. So I started panicking. And then I think it was a few days before submission day. I started panicking and then I started doing the work. I was doing it. Guys, I was doing this work here that 3 days I was in the library consistently for 3 days, drinking coffee. Like
So you're doing a shift, you're nursing shift before your work.
actually, I took no, I could get holidays. I could get holidays off. So I took holiday for that week. I
But
was
you're doing your shift that you would have done in the home, in the library doing your work because it's 3 days you work.
yeah, but no. We get given the chance to actually have holidays, like just
Oh, so you do. Okay. Okay.
yeah. So I remember like doing this work, and I remember like the last day of submission, I was probably overdosed on coffee. That it was so bad that when it was, I came home to rest. I remember it was one of my friends then. I came home to rest and I could not open my eyes to go back to the library. Like I was a complete mess. I literally slept, walked on my way to the library. And if I didn't have that friend there at that moment, like she had to hold me all the way to the library. I got to the library, I was still sleeping. I was like, leave me alone, let me just let me fail. But just to bring the story forward,
Forward.
I didn't submit the assignment on that day. Like I remember still writing my references at what time? At 9, and then 10 o'clock came, and then 11 o'clock came. It was gonna be 12 o'clock to do the submission. Guys, 12 o'clock came. I said, yeah. I said to myself, I said, I failed uni. Like I felt like I went to the bathroom and I remember I just panicked. I shut the door and I was crying. I was like, God, I failed uni. I said, oh my gosh, my enemies will be happy. And the only reason why I said that was because that assignment was so pivotal for me. It was my second year, but I needed that grade as well for third year as well. Because by second year, you can almost determine what
Where you
grade
are.
uni with. So I was like, oh my god, I might as well have not come to uni. Like what? Just going back and forth. I remember something in my heart, and I had another friend with me. Shout out to my girl, Kate Turner. If you ever see this, I remember Kate. I called Kate. Kate was one of my friends. She was in the faith as well. I was like, Kate, I didn't do the work. This is what's happening right now. What do you advise? And then Kate was just like, you know what? Just call the lead for the assignment or go and
Okay.
see them. So or write an email. I remember trying to write an email and something in me said, don't write the email because she might not be around and stuff like that. I think I did. I don't even know what happened, but I remember I wrote the email and I think the woman wasn't around or something like that. Anyways, so I just got up and then I went to the faculty building for health and
Okay.
science, walked there. Whilst I was walking, I was just like, God, like honestly, like this is the last thing you do for me. Please do it. Like I don't even I
Them
have
prayers.
nah, listen, I do not know where that faith came from. Because as I was walking to the faculty, it was like walking on a hill, but I was like, God, like I'm trusting you. And this was me. I went from, oh my gosh, my life is over to, oh my gosh, like God, I'm trusting you. I was like, you know what? If they reject me, they reject me. But if I don't ask, I will never know. So I walked up there now, went in there. I didn't actually see the woman or I didn't even see anyone. And then someone saw me and was like, oh, who are you looking for? And then I told them what I was looking for. And then he directed me to the ladies' room. Turns out that the lady wasn't actually around, and it was the second in command for the faculty lead for that assignment that was actually around. So he invited me in, and I knew that man as well. He was one literally interesting, lovely, funny chap, like one of the nicest lecturers ever. Literally, I got to sit down and was like, "Oh, what's the problem?" I told him what my problem was. I was like, "Oh, I wasn't able to submit," and I'm dyslexic, by the way. So some of my whole dyslexic support hadn't come. So I used that angle of my dyslexic support to just gain some more traction and gain some more.
Ah,
So I was like,
Jesus.
I was like,
Use
yeah,
what you
like
can.
I was like, I've just been struggling. I was like, they gave me a deferral and an extension, but I've had to be doing my assignments in the library and then I had to go on placement. Like, life has just been really tough. Like, I'm really struggling, just telling him that. He was like, oh, I don't know if there's anything I can do for you. And then I just started having like a personal conversation with him. Like it was so weird. Like I just started talking to him. Like I can't remember what the context of that conversation was, but it became such a personal leveled conversation. And he was just asking me questions, and I was just answering him. And then he just went. It was like, "How long is it gonna take you to finish?" I said, "Honestly, I can submit it tomorrow morning before 12 a.m." And immediately he said that. I knew that automatically he was going to give me the extra day. He was like, "Don't worry about it." He was like, I'm gonna message the head of nursing. I'm gonna message and ask him. Don't worry about it." I walked out and I knew I had butt scares, and I was like, "God,"
God is good.
I was like, "God, you did this for me." Like I was so surprised. Like it was so like it was I was so surprised in that day. Like literally, that was like the one of the biggest testimony I would say. In my head, I'm just like, this never happened for anybody that I went to uni with. This never happened for any of my friends in uni. Nobody will dare to go and ask after deferral and an extension if they can have help. Do you get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
Some
it's
people, they'll be on the way back to London, they pack their bags.
no, no, it wasn't that bad to pack my bags, but like literally, like it was It
It
was just
was
something that I felt like God like shocked me. Like I felt like God really like blew my mind. And like a Bible verse just came. It's a Bible verse that I literally like put in my Bible, just like I highlighted in my Bible. And it's in Psalms. I think God has been talking to me about Psalm, and that just came to me right now. I hope I open it at the right time. I hope I open it in time because
yeah,
guys,
no, take your time. But
this
definitely, I think we're here to hear your story. I think most people can know you as in know you as
mm,
Eniola YouTuber, know you as Eniola Twits, Eniola does fashion. But I think we're here to learn more as in from how you went through. Because like it's so easy to know someone for their fame and not know them for what they went through.
definitely.
And I
But
think
yeah,
people pay
I'm listening to you.
they
Sorry.
want to know. No, people always pay to know about people's biographies. So we're here to hear your story for free, by the way.
So, like the
Yeah.
Bible verse that came to me right now regarding that testimony was Psalm 139. And I'm going to be reading from verse 7 that says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." Actually, another translation says, "If I make my bed in hell, you are there.
Yeah.
If I rise up on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, the light and the light becomes night around me. Even the darkness will not be dark enough to you." You deep that like that Bible verse. Like I practically made my bed.
What did you read? So you read from 7 to what?
I read from verse 7 to verse, I think it was 11 or 12. Yeah, verse 12, 7 to 12.
Or
And like
12. Okay.
I practically laid my bed in hell. Like if I'm being honest, like in the way that I mentally, in the way that I moved in
You
uni, like
were.
do you get what I mean? I had the chance to have submitted my assignments. I had the chance to have, done everything I did, but I still didn't do it. Do you get that? Like that's
Yeah.
like the silliest thing. But in that way, God was like, I am still with you. Like you can actually mess up in your life. Like I messed up. That was the biggest messing up. Like how can you? But that last moment where I chose to have faith in God and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me just go. Let me just go. And faith is sometimes doing the stupidest things and not knowing how it's going to end up, but it ends up even right. And you think, what if I didn't ask them? Then I would have come out with what? A taught class? Sorry, what? Huh?
Is that
And
possible?
definitely, and not to tear down anyone who has
Downgrade
come out of
anyone,
uni for
yeah.
third class. Because really and truly, yeah, wherever you are, whatever you are, God is a God that restores regardless. So that shouldn't even matter. Like if God is gonna say that you're gonna be somewhere in life, you're gonna be there without your degree or anything, or without
Some people didn't go to uni and fam, they're blossoming far more than people that have all the degrees
some people
together.
don't even go to uni. So that was a big story of faith for me. A very fantastic one. If I may, I have that one more that's a very interesting testimony as well.
No, definitely. Like I said, I want people to leave here because we're doing this not just for. I know it's mainly for people in uni, but there are also people that have graduated uni, maybe even years or even just recently. Especially in this pandemic, we need a lot of faith to take us through because this pandemic is doing like this. We're doing like this back, but God is greater, to be honest. So I want to hear your testimony, definitely.
Yeah, I'm
The
gonna be
second one.
fast. The second
No,
one
take.
was me getting scammed in university. Nobody knew this, but at the beginning of my at the beginning of the second semester of my third year, which was like literally the new year, I got scammed. So literally like my whole bank account got wiped out. I remember I'd given some money, I transferred some money to one of my relatives, and then the remaining money that I had there was like literally things to just keep me cool and just afloat for university. And I remember that I had this call and this message that I actually thought was from my bank. Uh, Turns out it wasn't from my bank. I cannot remember the amount of money. I think it was either into 500 to 1,000, but it was quite a lot of money. I cannot remember. And I remember that my whole bank account got wiped out. And you know what makes it insane? It was literally at the end of my final exam. So yeah, this was one of the last exams I had. Yeah, this was like literally one of the last written. This was in fact the last written exams I had. I remember I got scammed like 3 days before the exam. You can imagine as to how I felt. Like I was panicking, I was stressed out, I was like, God, why me? Like, oh my God, like this is the last bit of uni. Like, you know that anything's gonna shake me up. Like, why me? I was upset. Like, I just didn't know who or what to believe. Like, I was so sad about the whole situation. But I remember telling myself, I said, Eniola, listen, if you wallow because they've taken your money, you're gonna fail uni. And so I made up a decision in like the first few days. I said I can't fail because of this money that has left my account. So I chose to trust God, and I said, God, you know what? I'm gonna go to my university. And I'm going to apply for like some sort of support. I'm gonna tell them exactly what happened. I remember going to my university. I remember speaking to them and telling them what had happened. I remember speaking to NatWest. NatWest didn't even do anything about it. I didn't even, what did they give me? They gave me money for doing review, which was like 20 or 50 pounds. That was it. And they did not do anything about the fact that I was a fraud victim.
Yeah.
I'm not even going into details about the whole fraud anyways, but I got defrauded. So yeah, I went to my university. I remember my university telling me, oh, they kind of helped me, and they might not be able to do much for me and stuff like that, and they wanted to see evidence. So I'm doing all this evidence, going to them.
It's hard to provide evidence though.
I did provide evidence, and it was actually all
Oh,
fine.
oh,
So they literally went from, okay, we don't know if you can do anything, to, okay, we're gonna help you, we're gonna give you
wow.
money because we can't, like, maybe your bank can give you the remaining half, to like a month later they were like, yeah, the remaining money that you asked for, we're gonna give you. So I literally got the whole full reimbursement back.
Come, there's some great, like,
Like,
if you guys,
legit.
this is where they say touch your screen and receive the anointing, because you don't really like. So I work in a bank, and like when people come in and get frauded, I know what the outcome is, because once they call you and they ask you to transfer the money with your own hand,
Yeah.
it's 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 finished. And just to let you guys know, just sidetrack for those in uni, please don't transfer any money, PayPal, Cash App, transfer money from one account to another account that you know that you don't know the person or you can't get access to. If your bank calls you, they'll never tell you to transfer the money. If there's fraud on your account, your bank will lock the account. It's you that even be calling them and say they've locked my account. They will never call you and tell you to transfer. And always check. Sorry, this is the bank and me coming out, but I don't work in the bank again. Always Google the sort code. If the sort code doesn't match up with the same bank, that's red flag number one. So wait, just the quick question I want to ask you, because I know you've tried to make this quick, but I want to dig in. When this first happened, I know you were panicking, and I know it's very easy to say, not easy, it's easy to say it, that, oh, I trusted in God. But was it a jump straight thing that, oh, trust in God, or was it a thing where you tried to do it your own way, and then when everything just went,
No,
you know,
like, I actually genuinely trusted in God. Like, as I
okay,
said, the first bit of me trusting in God was admitting that, okay, there's a problem that's going on in my life, and I had to finish university. Because of the money that has come out of my account is not why I now fail university and stuff like that. I genuinely like believe that that was an attack, because that was meant to literally just
throw
waver
you
my.
off.
That was meant to throw me off. It's like the devil knew. Okay, if we do this to Eniola, she's gonna mess up. She's just gonna, she's just gonna. So
Yeah,
like
they were
I,
trying to
and it was
throw
hard.
shots.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was
Mm.
hard. Like some days I cried, but after crying, I was like, girl, you too cute. Like, better get yourself to the library.
Really? To be honest, it works. You're bigger than this.
Yeah, but like I honestly, it wasn't as easy as I said.
Yeah.
But when the university gave me one set of money, I was like, okay, thank you God, because they went from no to yes. I was furious with NatWest. I was upset with like I was raging. Like it was hard, guys. Like I'm not even gonna lie, because maybe now I've suppressed the feeling, but I was like, it was hard. Because the funny thing that I tied this down to was also my last exam in sixth, no, one of the last exams I did in sixth form, actually a week
Mhm.
before finishing my exam in sixth form, I took my phone into the room where we had our exam room.
Yeah.
I gave it in to the invigilators. Just tell me why when I'm coming out of the room, my phone is not there. Everybody had their phones, and this was like a week before finishing my A-level exams. So it sort of felt like, okay, this has happened before, but like in this space, I'm not willing to fail for anybody. Do you get what I mean? Like I'm not.
Just I'm taking notes personally. So can we say that you there's this song that Jonathan McReynolds sang, Cycles. Basically, the devil learns from our mistakes, but we sometimes don't learn from our mistakes. So not your mistake, but like you learn from what had happened before, and it was like, I shook that one off. I'm gonna shake this one off as well.
Yeah, but like I think that when it comes to faith, it's a decision. Faith is a decision. Like
Okay.
I didn't know whether they were gonna give me the money or not. Like they gave me 1.5 of money. I wasn't expecting them to come back and give me the remaining half. I was happy. I settled myself. I said, okay, God, it's better than nothing. Like I know you're gonna do something.
Was this before the exam or after the exam they gave you the half?
After the exam, like I had to wait weeks without the money. Like it was stressful, but like in that space in time, I even had to tell the people that I was my landlords. I had to tell them what had happened. And I was like, I'll send the money, a week after, and they were very understanding. Even that is gaining favor. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely. Because they could have said,
yeah,
students, this is how you always behave.
they could have made noise about it, but yeah, in that space I cried. I acted like a human. It wasn't that I never did, but as I did that, I knew that there was one person that could help me. So after crying and screaming and shouting and kicking off a fit, I would pray. I would sing to God, and I would just sing and I would pray and I'll cry, and that was it. I was just like, you know what, okay. Okay.
Okay, we'll see. Like you finished crying and like you said, what was it you said again? Oh yeah, I took you for that. So you guys, please put it there. Well, I took you for that. Ooh, that semester is gonna come for you after. Anyway, so I'll say you given us two stories, but then like I personally, I said my uni experience is a bit more like when I'm hit by something, I think I'm very maybe delusional in terms of I just believe everything works together for my good. I believe it that it must work like before the bad thing happens. I don't believe the bad part is my portion.
Can I just pause you there?
Yeah.
So I love that, because that's childlike. That's childlike believing
Hmm.
in God. That's childlike. Whereas I'm to God like, why? I'm a questionnaire with when it. So it's so funny, and that's a mindset as well that you have that I'm also still now learning to have.
Now I'm learning. I think when it hits me so hard, sometimes I ask, God, why? What did I do wrong?
Like yeah, like I'm a why this, but why? Explain why? And I guess I'll be waiting till Jesus comes, because God does not owe me an answer. Do you get what I mean? Like, but yeah, as you were saying before I cut you off, you were talking
No,
about.
no. So I think I learned. So I had that faith where, and what that helped me in certain instances where sometimes I would like, just to give my own view, doing my dissertation. I had a PowerPoint slide that I should have handed in and everything. And tell me why lastminute.com. You're meant to hand it maybe at 11 at 10:59. I'm pressing the turn it in button. It says no answering mail.
Do you know what? I had that happen. That happened to me as well. That happened to me in second year. Guess what? I messaged the lady. What did she say? She said, "Oh, we're not going to be able to help you." I said,
Oh, no,
"Can you?"
I think it's an automatic response thing, They do it
No,
so
no, no. Like I messaged her as she said, "Oh no, this happened in second. This was even the start of second year. I was late to submit an assignment. This actually happened before the one I spoke about first. I was
Mhm.
late to submit the assignment. She was like, "No, we're not going to be able to help you." Tell me why. Apparently, it happened to other people. What happened? I submitted it. She accepted it, and I was great. In fact, my dissertation, that's just second year. My dissertation was due, but Turnitin shut down on the day that it was due. And I wasn't even finished with my dissertation. As
Said
in,
let's cut our screen. It's
wait,
still
let me wait. Turnitin shut down. I remember my twin sister was there. Turnitin shut down. The whole thing shut down. And they were like, oh, if you're not able to submit, it's fine. Submit it the next day. People tried to submit the next day. What happened? They said, we'll give you guys the, submit it. Don't worry, you can submit it. I had, if I, mm, if I knew that anything was going to be down here, I'd have trusted God, because it was a stress. It was a big stress of my life. Like, this one was a big stress. That was another way God came through for me. And do you know what? Like, oh,
You know what's funny from your story? All I can see is I'm just trying to get the psalm out. It's Psalm 121, and it says, I lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. So I'll say Psalm 121, verse 1 to 2. Why are you doing?
because like nobody even understands. I have been studying Psalm 121 since the start of this month. Not even this month, since the half of last month. That was where I felt like God led me to, and I've been reading this Bible verse. Like, this is a confirmation for me, and that's why I'm so happy and I'm so excited. Like, the amount of times I've seen people speak about Psalm 21, when I see it, it's like,
Now that brings me to the next one. So we spoke about Psalm 139. I've just dropped Psalm 121. What's your favorite Bible passage that inspires you to keep your faith? And I'm not talking about the ones that they give in church and you just write down and say, "Yes, Lord, that's my prayer point." No, I'm talking about the one that when you're face to face like this and things are knocking off, and you've spoken to your mom, your sister, even your family members or your friends for advice, and maybe they might be telling you things, but your spirit isn't settled, but you know that go-to verse that just, you just
Okay.
rest.
So yeah, this is gonna have to be a shout out to my mentor, my personal person, like
The
my per-
same person as before, the
no, like Pastor Mercy. Yeah,
Have mercy, please.
yeah, like
Keep
this
my
Bible.
papa.
This Bible verse is a very big one. I even, after she sent me that, after she actually told me about that Bible verse, I changed the screen lock I changed the screensaver on my laptop and
What's
actually
this
changed
verse
that.
that means I can change my own?
It's Psalm 46, verse, is it verse 4 or 5? Let's go to Psalm 46. Like, that Bible verse has stuck with me since university, and she gave it to me, and I genuinely still believe that I'm in that season. And that's why I say, like, the story of faith is one that we are going to continuously face in our lives, because you're always going to need faith to be able to move forward. So it's verse 5, and it says, God is within her, she will not fall. God will help her at the break of day. And that is it.
Verse
And
5, you said.
yeah, verse 5. Like, I
I'm
remember,
gonna change it to from her to him to me.
yeah, take it where you want it.
Yeah. Bible
But
does not have gender like that.
but that's my go-to. Some days I forget. I remember that Bible verse because it was a very deep time in university for me. I remember I took a week or day or a few days to fast, because I was just like, God, I just need to tell me something like this. I can't remember why I fasted, but I fasted. And I remember it was on a Friday. I was meant to meet up with Pastor Mercy at church just to speak to her and just catch up with her and stuff like that. And I remember she was like, Eniola, praying with me. She was like, Eniola, go and read Psalm 46, verse 3. I said verse 3, verse 5. Like, you read the whole thing, but verse 5 is where you like read it. When I saw that, it really encouraged me. Like, legit, university was where I was meant to fall. All my life, I've been falling. Like, but for God to just reiterate that to me and just say, what, God is within you, you will not fall.
Mm,
University was I don't know how I came out with the grade that I came out, but I can honestly tell you that it was God. I'm not, and I don't even mean to like lie to you. He actually didn't let me fall. He didn't. Like, the grade I got was so funny. I was like, this is it? Like, okay, like, I was so happy. Because it could have been worse.
yeah,
It was like
definitely.
God just carried me on a pillow, or like God just carried me and just said, you know what, I'm gonna rest you on a pillow. Boom, you're not gonna hit your head, gentle. And yeah, so Psalm 46 is always a go-to for me. Sometimes I forget, but it's always a go-to in terms of just knowing that, what, God is not going to let me fall. Like, he's actually not going to let me fall. I remember another of my friends in university, gave me Philippians. Was it Philippians 1:6? And it was about, I struggled, and it was about. I remember telling her I'm tired of uni. Oh my gosh, like university is killing me. Like I'm
I
tired.
forgot what Philippians 1:6 is. It's
Philippians
very
1:6 says, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it
yeah.
to the day of Jesus Christ.
I was like, how can I forget that?
Mate, I forget it all the time. When I tell you I forget it all the time, I forget it all the time. Like he who has started will complete it. I
Yeah.
struggled with completing university, and I remember my friend sending that to me and speaking it to me, and I just literally held on to it. I didn't know how I was gonna finish university, if I'm being honest. My last assignment for university was flagged up for, what's it called?
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism. And the lady said to me, you know what, because this is your last assignment, you've never gone through this before, we're gonna let you off. So I was just
I
like,
said I'm gonna just be touching my screen because you know that there are people that go through that plagiarism, yeah, and for instance, it's not like they plagiarized. Maybe they actually didn't know how to phrase the word well or this thing, and it will flag up, and they don't have any backup, and they will just lose points. They'll lose marks.
yeah.
So
Okay, so
definitely
I lost. I literally lost. I lost so much. I lost a lot of marks for that.
for that
I lost a lot of marks for that, but it was better than me reciting that essay.
completely, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I
there was
was,
still grace. Like even though it looked like this is it, there was still grace,
she
and
could have,
so
no, she could have also reported me to the board of conduct. This could have dragged
true
on.
that they could have made you take the whole. Like they could have started checking all your work. I know
And
how
the thing,
university can be.
and the thing is, when you restart a work in nursing, you have to start again, choose a completely different topic. You can't do the same work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they feel like it'll be too easy. Oh my god, fam, this grace. I feel like this has been really encouraging for me, even personally in adult life. So you guys don't feel like it's only university students that go through things. Adults in our last video, yeah, it was the last video. We said adulthood can be a scam sometimes,
It
so
is
you
a
better
scam.
learn. We have grace, so it can't be a scam.
Okay.
Learn. But basically, we've learned one thing from you: having mentors, having friends that speak life to you. You've spoken about two mentors or one mentor, confirmed mentor, one we say on the way, on the door mentor, and friends speaking life as in Bible passages, things. What else do you feel like encouraged you, or like what resources do you feel like helped? Because I know also speaking to people in uni as well, like your lecturers and things. But what else do you feel like helped?
I think university was where I watched a lot of videos on YouTube to encourage myself in the faith. Some days I spent my time worshiping God. Not all the time, but I spent my time worshiping God. When I felt stressed, like I just sang. I also think church was a big like contributor to my faith. Like it was a big one. And also like God using Pastor Mercy as my mentor as well. It was like
That's
it
that's
still
my
is.
pastor.
You know what I mean? Like it still
That's
is
still
amazing. It still is.
she doesn't leave. She's always
Yeah,
there.
it still is an amazing part of my journey. Like church was my second go-to. We had choir practice. I was in choir. Whenever I felt down, whenever I had to go to choir practice on Saturdays or any time, I was always happy, excited, bubbly. Even in the days I had a really terrible day, like I would still look forward to choir
Placement.
stuff like that. So, I'll definitely say like go to places where you can, what's the word I'm looking for, go to places where you can actually build yourself and build your spirit, like church, but
Mhm.
also build a friendship and a community that also looks after you. So church did that for me, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
church did that for me all the time. And just to be practical, have friends that are in the faith that can also help you and speak life to you. I had my go-tos, and I had PM as a mentor as well, so that really helped me through uni. Like they knew how I felt about uni. Like I was so thorough and I was very raw about how I felt all the time. And I'm so grateful that I was able to, to be able to access this different ways and people that were able to help me in the journey. My journey in university, it made my life easier. Like every word they spoke to me, I held on to it because I was like, that's God speaking to me. And I'm gonna have faith.
that's what I love. What you just said. That part. I think. even me learning myself, PM can testify to this. I think you hear some words and you're just like, I don't really want to hear that one. I'll keep some, I'll hide some, some you enter this year, come out. See, block the ear, let everything they say. Because sometimes we're waiting for God to come down from heaven to say, oh, this is the way go. Or one, because we watch a lot of films and we're creative, maybe in your mind, you just be looking for one. Maybe you're walking home from library, you want to see one light pop more than the others. Say, this is my son with who I'm on, please. Doesn't always work like that, mate. Sometimes it's literally through your friends, it's through someone picking up the call, encouraging you. So I think also you were able to, you were accessible. So being accessible. Now, this is the final question. I think. What would you say is your top tip to? Did I say that word? Yeah, top tip or tips to develop one's faith in God. I know, like you said, you're still learning, but
Yeah.
from how far you've come, because everyone has a different side to it. But so far, how far you've come, some tips or top tip that can help us develop our faith in God.
Top tip in developing your faith would definitely be to read the word. Like, if you don't know what the word says, you're not like, it's to read the word. And more
Hey, don't
time,
come for me.
listen, I'm guilty as charged as well. Can I just say, like, the word, that's why we call it the word of faith. Like, the word is life. Like, the word is, it carries weight. Like, it's not just mere words. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
My
There's
top
a
tip is literally to have that faith is there. You know, when you're going through a hard time and a hard season, in order to have faith, like, I've been going through a trying time as well for myself, being in COVID and just a lot of things not going exactly the way I've planned. I've been very distraught about it. And I remember just really feeling connected to the story of Joseph. I've been reading about the story of Joseph.
oh Jesus.
I mean, I've been reading about this,
Aaron, yeah.
knowing that I'm not alone and it's not
Yeah.
new. Like, what I'm going through is not new. In Ecclesiastes, it talks about times and seasons. There's time to laugh, there's time to cry, there's time to this,
It's
there's time to
passes
that.
three, I think.
You
Yeah.
get what I mean? Like, it's meant you I just remember, what Bible verse is this? Is it Hebrew?
Say it, and then
Is
we
it the
have Bible
testing of
scholars.
our faith or something produces perseverance? The hope cycle.
It's it's either Hebrews or Ephesians. It sounds more like Hebrew, to be honest.
I think it's Hebrews verse 1. I think
Yeah,
it's
you need to
Hebrews.
find it because Pastor Mercy is on this line. For Pastor Eniola, Eniola.
Let me check. I think it's Hebrews, and I need to be fast because I can see the time. Like, time is literally so well spent. But I think
No, definitely. I think we've learned a lot today. I feel like I've taken notes. I've been taking my notes anyway.
if it's not Hebrews, I'm actually gonna cry. No, it's not. No, is it?
Google it. Google it.
No, it's
See,
not.
the top tip, guys, you can use Google for the things of God. I'm telling you.
Listen, I saw the Bible verse today. Do you know that's what's crazy? I literally saw the Bible verse today. James, not Hebrews. Like, why was I thinking
James.
about Hebrews?
I
And
didn't
you're
even
not
think about James.
following James. James 1:3. Actually, yeah, James. Let me even just bring out the whole
Pastor
thing.
Mercy says Hebrew 11, so maybe Hebrew
Maybe
2 has his
is
own.
there a
Yeah.
Hebrew one of it? Okay,
And
but
I
like,
told you, but there's some Bible scholars in here. Pastor Mercy.
so
We still need to go and sit
James.
down and that teaching.
No. Let me be quick because we don't have a lot of time. But James 1, verse, I'll say verse 2 says, and I don't like this Bible verse because when I'm really sad and down and you're telling me to come store joy, I'm just like, do you know what? Don't talk. Okay. You don't know how I'm going through. Okay. But yeah, it says, consider it nothing but joy, brothers and sisters, whenever you fall into diverse, various trials. Be assured that the testing of your faith through experiences produces endurance, leading in spiritual maturity and inner peace, and let endurance have its perfect results and do a thorough work so that you may be perfect and completely developed in your faith, lacking nothing. You need the
Someone
word.
gave me that today.
Sorry?
Someone gave me that today. That exact
Exactly.
verse.
Exactly. So literally, the biggest thing I would say as a biggest, the top tip is actually reading the word. And that's something we never do because we don't know the mind of God if we don't read the word. If we don't connect with the Holy Spirit as well, he propels our faith. He helps us. He leads us in that faith. Yeah, I would say reading the Bible is going to help. Like the story of Abraham, the story of Moses. You know, Isaac coming to life. Do you get what I mean? Like it's there.
Daniel,
Ezra.
so many. Just to even add, Hebrew 12. Is it Hebrews 12? Yeah, I think it's Hebrews 12. Let me be 100% sure. Hebrew 12 speaks about since we're surrounded by a great cloud of multitude, let us cast away. But that part of Hebrews 12:1, since we're surrounded by a great crowd of multitude, they've all been through the things we're going through. And I just literally looking at what you've been through, because this is just your side of story of uni, and you've been through a lot as in faith. So imagine how far you still have to walk with God. This is I think I'm extremely excited.
Mm.
But I don't know I wish we had longer time to be honest, because I feel like I still want to ask more questions. But definitely I think I want to say first, thank you so much for being honest, truthful,
Thank you for having me.
and saying the truth, because I think it's very easy to paint the walls and make everything look good after you've been through something. Go, yeah, uni was easy, I struggled a bit, but God is good,
Yeah,
and
I was
just
a mess. I was a mess.
um,
A mess.
and so basically I feel like as time just is clicking, I just feel like maybe you want to do a little bit of prayer to end this,
Oh wow.
because we can't. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we should do a bit of prayer, because I feel like we can't speak about God and not invite Him to start, because we said He that started the good work will continue. We don't want this to end on the live. We want this to continue.
All right. I'm just going to speak. Father Lord, we just thank you for this moment to be here. We thank you for those whose lives have been touched by what has been said. We thank you for those who are going through trials and tribulations right now at the moment. Just pray, God Almighty, that you will give them the faith to persevere, that they will literally just not only accept your love, but Lord, that you will give them courage to literally keep on going and not to give up, God. And that
Amen.
wherever they feel like they might fall, God, that you will be there to pick them up. You always
Amen.
are always, but Lord, that they will believe it and they will actually see it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Mm.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. All I can just say is thank you again. We're so blessed to have had you, and we've learned so much. Like I've taken some notes, even though like I'm an old man. I'm an old man. We're taking some notes. We saw your Scientific Freedom Act, and so thank you so much. All we can say is thank you. Thank you. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
guys for having me.
Um.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think we'll call it the end of this. Um,
Yeah.
please, if you do want to go back, please feel free to go back and watch the videos. There was one with Manny Ade. There's one which is I feel like there's no one that can't learn from this. So please, if you feel like anytime you want to go back, we have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to, put a bit of likes there, share with your friends as well. I feel like, especially with this uni process, it's not easy, but I feel like uni makes us men and women, and then we go out there and we learn so much. So
Yeah.
thank you guys again. Um, I think that'll be it for me. Thank you so much, Eniola. We're so blessed.
Bye.